Alright, so I'm just going to do a quick run through of why I think the Model 12 or any of these Tascam newer mixers is basically the perfect mixdown deck or companion if you're tracking anything to tape on a 4-track. I've been having a ton of fun with the Tascam 246. So what I'm going to do is just run through the first track I recorded on the 246, show you how I use it with the Model 12, and some of the cool things you can do. So first of all, just the way that it's set up. On the 246, there are 4 tape outs. You can kind of see them over here. That is the direct out for each one of the 4 channels that records to tape. Those 4 tape outs are coming in the tracks 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the Model 12. These trim pots here, the gain knobs are set at 0 line level. The nice thing about this is there's a minus 10 decibel pad on it if you need to bring that level down. And then, you know, the gain goes up to probably 60 or so. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's plenty. I don't actually track through it. I track everything through the preamps on here just because they're old and vintagey and warm and all that good stuff. But the Model 12 is completely usable by itself. I just have more fun tracking the tape, so that's why I did this. So what I'm going to do is just basically a quick mix down. These tracks that I've recorded is one of my songs that I did either 4 or 6 tracks, I forget, but they're all bounced to 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. I've got this set up into remix mode, so everything is going to come out directly from the tape outs to the 12. So when you do that with a 4-track, the tape outs, at least in this one, it goes from the tape out to the master. None of the EQ section or even these levels. Well, I'm recording in track 1 right now, but none of these levels do anything when you bring the tape out. So basically the mix is going to happen over here of the 4 tracks. I'll shut up now and we'll run through it. And the trees began to bend to obey the wind. When the wind became a song and brought a tear, when holding on for weeks became another year, and then a lifetime, another lifetime, but it brought you here. You're the light in my window, the light in the dark, the candle on my table, and the lantern in my heart. A year became a lifetime of living hard. When the snow began to fall, we could feel again. Until the sun came, the day the sun came, we will not forget. When the light in my window became a lone white spark, lit the candle on my table, then the lantern in in my heart. And you're the light in my window, light in the dark, the candle on my table, and the lantern in my heart. And a life became a memory of a better day. And a day became the same as every other day. And in the nighttime, we finally found the flame. The light in my window, dark, the candle on my table, and a lantern in my heart. All right, so now we're in the Model 12. We've got these 4 tracks that have the output of the 246 on it. So we'll switch over to this MTR mode, multi-track mode, so that we can hear what we just caught. And I'll explain one thing in a second, but let's just see. Let's see what we got. Let's pause. There's play. So we got it. So the reason that I did a mix while we were coming out of the 246, even though, you know, that mix doesn't matter now, when you record on the Model 12, it's always making a stereo mix onto channels 11 and 12. So let me see if I can get in there so you can see that. All right, so that's my mix on 11 and 12 coming out of the 246. What I can do now, which I think is probably the coolest thing about the 246 is, I mean, about the Model 12 is this feature. So if you go over now and you do come into the menu, we're going to go to Stereo Mix Export. So that's asking if we want to export 11 and 12, that stereo mix that we just made, out of the Model 12. So we're going to say yes. All right, so it's done. Now we can bring that stereo track back into the Model 12, track edit, and then import. So that's the song Lantern. We'll bring the mix out. Okay. And then it just wants to know where we want to put it. So let's say we want to tuck this onto 9 and 10. I'm not going to do it, but we put it on 9 and 10, right? So then we have it coming down into channel 9 and 10. And then the way that I've got my Model 12 hooked up is when the sub mix is not coming out to the camera, the sub mix goes back in to the Model 12, to the 246 as 2 tracks. So we can, if we look back over here, those inputs on the front, we can put it in whatever 2 tracks we want to bring it into. We can use the same cassette that we tracked on. We could throw a new cassette in. Then we've got a 2-track mix full of effects, all the compression that came through the board and everything, that we could put 2 more tracks on. We could bounce those all out to a stereo mix, put it back to the 246 as 2 tracks. We could do that until we get sick of building up tracks, which is totally not the reason I do any of this. The reason I went with a 4-track over a computer is because my music is, 4 tracks, 6 at most. And that limitation has been great for my creativity. And I think, if you're writing songs on a guitar and bass and singing or whatever, having the limitation makes you make choices. You can't fill up 96 tracks on your DAW, 90 background vocals and weird synthesizer sounds and beeps and boops and all that stuff. You get the bare bones of the song, and if it sounds good to you, what I'm striving for down here in this little corner of my basement is good enough. None of this is going on the radio. None of this is going on like Spotify or anything. This is just for my amusement, and then putting it out to YouTube and hoping that someone finds some of this useful and enjoys the tune while we're at it. One of the coolest resources I found on YouTube is the guy that does, I think he's 424 recording. He's all about the Tascam 424, which is an awesome machine. I've got one of those too. And he's just got hours of tutorials and just cool stuff. So definitely check his channel out. He's been at this a long time and really, really cool stuff over there. That's when I first started wanting to get out of the computer. I started searching and Googling and YouTube searching Dawless Setup. Somehow or other came across that guy, was reminded of all the 4-tracking I did in the basement in the 90s, and was like, yeah, that's it. That's it for me. So, and got back into immediately making music with the push of a button and turns of a knob. So that's it for now. Check you guys later.